This is Mike Elko's team. And I admire the way, from what I've seen, the way he's managing his team.
Hello, everyone. Welcome into TexAgs Rewind, presented by Specs in the Rollo Insurance Studio. I'm David Nuno, and we've got McKinley and we've got Jackson in here. Make your joke. McKinley Jackson.
Oh, yeah, McKinley Jackson.
You're the one that told me the joke.
Jackson. I forgot the joke. I thought you were asking me to make a new joke.
Well, you can make a new one.
I'm not good at dad jokes. Or jokes.
You just threw me under the bus, right?
I'm a pretty serious guy. It can be funny, but it has to be organic, you know?
Well, I don't know about all that. I'm just kidding. You've been here a couple days now, right?
Mm-hmm.
And today's your first official day, McKinley, right?
Yes, sir.
Did you learn anything?
I did learn a lot about editing and graphics and stuff. Yeah.
Favorite part of the show today? Ooh, see, I told you it'd be hard.
Probably RC Slocum.
Okay, good answer.
For sure. Yeah.
Jackson?
My favorite part of the show was definitely AC Fresh.
Alex Caruso.
Appreciating 2K giving him some love.
Yeah.
It's much deserved.
Great job there. Caitlin, favorite part of the show?
I'm going to go Coach G. Makes it up a little.
Okay.
Obviously, RC and Alex Caruso were great, but I really liked Coach G in here today.
Good answer. All great answers. The show was really good today. I hope you guys comment and subscribe later. But also, I forgot to tell you this. Jason Howell is on the rewind. Check it out. Number 3, OB is?
Yeah, number 11, Nick Scorton. You know, I feel like Christmas came early with the arrival of Sack Nick. I'm so excited about him. I think this guy is a guy that you just plug in and expect him to do great things. We all do. I mean, he's a preseason All-American. You know, he's projected as a first-round draft choice. He led the Big Ten in sacks last year, and quite frankly,
I don't think their defense is as good as what he has here.
Yeah, I don't either. I think they
double team him a lot.
Yeah, and they probably still will.
Okay, then Shamar
and maybe Hicks or whatever. That opens up things. So I think he's going to make a big impact. And, you know, at the end of the year, we may be saying he should have been number 1.
Yeah.
But let's wait, because the only reason I didn't have any number 1 on my list is there's some other really good players that we're going to be talking about, but just show it to me in the SEC. Uh-huh. I know what you did in the Big Ten. By the way, you could say, well, he's at Purdue and Big Ten West is not
right.
He had 2 sacks, two against Michigan, maybe
the best offensive line,
or definitely one of them.
Right.
One of the best offensive lines in the country last year. He had 2 sacks against Michigan, so he got it done against good teams.
Yeah, he's an example of somebody that I've actually brought up Nick Scorton to my kids before. That while he was getting recruited by bigger schools, he wasn't as beloved as he was as a transfer, right? Like there were some questions. Even A&M, they were interested, but they didn't go hard after.
It was a matter of wait and see. And that's
right?
WEIGHT.
And he's the kind of guy that, you know what, let things develop and see what kind of superstar you become.
Yeah, you're not a finished product at 18, right? He came out of, and Mike Elko's been very honest about it. He didn't offer him a scholarship when he was A&M's defense coordinator because he came out of Brian Hyatt 220. And he said, yeah, you're a good player and I'm interested, but I don't know that you're going to be big enough to get through the day-by-day rigors of SEC and going against those big SEC linemen. So he goes to Purdue, and what do you know? He gets up to 280, and he's a total dominant force and has a chance to come back to home to A&M, and A&M is definitely excited to have him.
When it comes time to go for it on 4th down or punt on fourth down or air it out a little bit, whatever those things are, you're the one that can do something about it, and you need to be using your ability to analyze what's going on with your team. Sometimes you get in a game and you say, man, we can't slow these guys down. We got to take some chances. We got to air it out and do some things because we're not going to be able to slow them down. Or you can say, you know what, these guys are not going to score many points. So let's play to win the thing, and we're be with the football, protect the ball, do those things, and punt the ball and play defense. Yeah. So anyway, you make those things like a guy that was running a company would be looking at not just one division of the company. He'd be looking at the whole thing.
The whole picture.
Yeah, the whole picture of his company. This is Mike Elko's team, and I admire the way, from what I've seen, the way he's managing his team.
I love the way you answered that, too, because I feel that exact way. When it comes to Connor Wigman, you've been to practice a few times. What are you seeing from this young man?
Oh, I'm encouraged. He looks like he's gotten stronger. I've talked to people out there. He's been on a good program working, and it looks like he's put on maybe a little bit of weight, but certainly some strength, and he looks good. And we've got 2 or 3 other guys out there who are pretty good too.
It's a good quarterback room to have
Yeah,
that
I
much.
think it is,
yeah.
man. I really do.
And then, something that I'm sure you've paid attention to, the defensive line. Like, it's not the first team and the second team. It's just a lot of talent. And yes, there's going to be some starters, but those guys are going to play.
Yeah, that's the way good defensive lines look. I'll say that. We passed the eye test. We've got some big physical guys that can move.
How much does Torian remind you? And I hate using the comparison of Dat because Dat was a special, legendary type player.
Right.
But there are some similarities in the way they go about their business.
Yeah, he's into it. He plays hard, practices hard, has good movement. He has all the tools. I think he's a really good player and a good kid. I think that's a big comparison with Dat because Dat was an exceptional person.
High school practices and even some games and some scrimmages and whatnot, it's all here.
Yeah, I don't know if you saw the stat line that Helam and Kasuga had last week, but it was 18 of 20 passing. So
18 of 20?
18 of 20 for 482 yards, 6 touchdowns. And they beat a good team in American Fork. He put on a show in his first game as the starter there at Corner Canyon. And then Jerome Miles had 4 receptions for 120 yards and an 80-yard touchdown reception. So, that's a couple of big A&M targets right there that opened the season in a big way last week. That was the only official game on the schedule. This week you have a few more with all out of state. Corner Canyon's going up against IMG this week, so they're going to be tested. That's the number 3 team in the country, and then you've got Son Longstreet is kind of day-to-day dealing with a foot injury at Corona Centennial, but the A&M quarterback commit, he's got a big matchup against Mater Dei, who I think is number 1 in the country, and Centennial's not too far behind. That's a top 10 matchup right there, and 2 of the top teams in the state of California. Noah McKell and Benita, they start their season this week on Friday. I think TK Norman at Montgomery, Alabama. He's got a big game there in Montgomery. So we'll see what happens there. Get a chance to get some receiver highlights, and Adonis Curry and Quartz Hill out in California are going to be in action as well.
Where have you seen your game evolve from maybe your time at A&M? Where do you think you've seen the most growth?
Yeah, I think just confident in everything that I do. I don't second guess myself nowadays. Like I know exactly what I want to do defensively, when I want to shoot it, how I want to attack. And then I think just the mental part of the game, like resetting every night in the NBA is a big deal. Like playing 82 games or however many it is that you play during the year. It's a task to shut it off for 12 hours, go to practice the next day, and then ramp it back up, every 2 days or on back-to-backs, 4 and 6 nights, whatever it is. So growing in that aspect was something that professional basketball really taught me. And then obviously just continuing to work on, my shot, my offensive part of my game. I think I shot just over 40% on 4 or 5 attempts last year. That's a high level number for an NBA guy, let alone, basketball in general. So just really, really appreciative that I gave myself the opportunity by putting in the work, all these years and all these summers.
Career highs last year in games played, points per game at 10, rebounds per game 3.8, assists per game 3.5, field goal percentage 46.8, three-point percentage 40.8, steals per game 1.7. And also, if this means something to you or not, I just saw one of my somebody on our team here tell us, on NBA 2K25, you have a perimeter defense of 94, second on the game. Did you know that?
I saw that the other day. Yeah, somebody either tweeted it or I saw it on Instagram. Good for 2K. Good on them showing some love finally.
Yeah. And just what about your new adventure there at Oklahoma City, a team that has so much talent, and people are saying you could be the missing piece?
Yeah, I think that team, obviously, their success last year speaks for themselves. Being first in the West is a tall task, just because of the buzzsaw that the Western Conference is and how much talent there is.
All right, we're going to close it out. This I do know. Caitlin knows what to do. Jackson knows what to do. McKinley, I don't think knows what to do. Tell the people what to do
For what?
for now. What do you think they need to do? Jackson may help you in a second.
Subscribe.
Yes, she helped you.
Subscribe.
That's so nice. Caitlin,
I did it.
you did help. I can tell because McKinley was like this, deer in the headlights. All right, go ahead.
Subscribe.
What else?
Follow.
Okay, and
And
comment.
comment.
Anything else?
Like
Okay, we'll
Like.
take
like
it
our
up.
tweets.
There you go.
Repost.
We'll see you next time.